Hello, hello, guys, and welcome to the DPC SA Division 1. Once again, we have the first match today. It's between Infinity and SG Esports. If you've been watching this best of 3, you've known that SG won the first game, as Infinity did their usual thing, where they mixed things together, they tried to experiment, and it blew up in their face. That's just the story for them. We'll see if this game number 2 is going to be a little bit easier for Infinity, as they usually try to actually bring it to a 2-1, or if SG punishes this first loss with a second win, and thus sends Infinity probably into Division 2 with a score. My panelist, RDO, RDO, what would you like to see for Infinity this time? What are your thoughts?
Normal drafts with
Normal.
average carries on Lumiere, like farming carries that he's very good at, and some space creator on Mariano.
Wow, that is such a... You're asking for a lot, RDO. I don't know if they can accomplish that. Very off-meta things you're asking for, but at least for Infinity. But if you're SG, and you get given this opportunity, you just see this wacky draft, like, we just got given a free game. What is your draft for second game? How do you punish this? How do you force a cheese pick? What is the idea?
I think SG already know that Infinity is not going to gamble in another weird hero stuff. I think they're going through some classic stuff, you know? Just get Epulze, get a Spirit on the mid lane for KXY, and maybe Puck. I think they're going to stick with the plan, the casual plan. And I think Infinity, it's really not going to try new stuff again. I think Pudge, it just proved to themselves right now that it's just not going to work. It's the second game they already lose, and I don't think they're going to try again.
Okay. That's a bold statement. Papita said 3 times, mate. What do you say to that? You think one more time is a trick?
No, don't do this,
Stop.
please. Just follow our duo calls. Go through the casual. Go through the classic.
Fair enough.
Now's the time that Infinity picks Puck and have a fair match with good draft on both sides. Let's go.
Oh, look at that. Wild idea. They picked the Monkey King again for SG, though. RDO, is it, I think it's a flex once again this time?
Yes, I feel like this Monkey is a flex, and Berna is also very good on it. He knows how to play against any matchup, kind of. Because Vino is one of the worst matchups besides, like, Viper, and he actually played well. He got, like, a fine lane and actually bought good items after that, so he could get first rush and snowball by that.
Visage is going to be the pick here for Infinity instead. I thought the matchup was bad for Visage, you know? You told me, RDO, that you can pick Monkey King into Visage and just avoid all those soul assumptions.
No, I didn't tell you literally with these words, but yes, the Monkey King matchup is good against Visage, because
I'm sorry.
he can always get on top of Visage and proc the Jingle. He has the lifesteal, and also he has the chance to dodge the Visage
Okay.
as well. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. But
It's
yeah,
true, actually.
Yes. It's kind of weird for them to pick Visage into Monkey. I don't really like it.
Yeah. What do you think the idea behind Infinity is? Are they looking just for like a... Do they think that Zoo offlane will help them out in the second game? Or do you think they're doing something weird?
They want to pick Zoo on Radiant, right? Because they will snowball, get a OP Vlad, and get Roche.
Yeah, they're probably going through some classic stuff. Just play normal game, normal Dota 2 game. But I don't know about this Visage going offline. Like RDO said.
Maybe it's because there's no Beastmaster and they're dealing with Enchantress, so Lycan doesn't seem as appealing. And they wanted Zoo, so Visage is the best option they have against Ench.
I mean, it is, but Enchantress Monkey King lane should destroy Visage.
Right. Yeah, I would think that too. Yeah, no, man. I'm trying to grasp at straws, guys. Help me out. I don't want to just flame Infinity, okay? Give me something to work
It's
with.
a flex. Let's go. It's a Visage flex. Visage can still... Never mind. Visage cannot go mid. No.
He's done for it, mate. There's no lane for Visage now. Visage carry, I guess. That's the way to go.
Oh my god, if it's Visage carry, man.
Lumiere will never get to play a normal thing this series. So you see Pat right here. What do you think of for the mid lane? How do you win this matchup?
It's probably going to be bad mid. They just went Cop, Puck, and Pango.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of Bat
Not
right
a
on
fan?
15 pick. Yeah. Just
Okay.
get the 18 pick or the last pick if you're going to pick Bat. Now they can just prepare for the Bat mid. I think they just went for this pick because Kunkka was also banned. So it's a kind of free bet, but they can still pick something.
Invoker? How does
okay.
that do?
It's decent. It's decent. It's decent on the lane. On the game itself, the EMP it's really good against Bat because Bat has low mana pool. Invoker is not going to die on the lane if he don't commit any mistakes. He saves the tornado. It's fine. The classic PP hero, Joe.
Invoker is also
That's
a
true.
very good hero against Monkey King because he takes off the Jingo stacks with Tornado,
Yeah.
and he's the kind of mid that rotates on side lanes, and Monkey King is a hero that wants to extend his lane, right? So he bully the off lane and get a lot of farm, but if Invokers like go to this lane and kill him, it's hard for Monkey, so it's actually a very good pick.
I think
Now the
we
Lich-
are seeing more Lich because of Wolf Team. Duster is always playing the zero. I guess
RDO.
everyone is watching.
I want to know RDO. Why do you think they're picking the Lich here?
I have no idea, my friend. But I
Awesome.
hope they get Brewmaster. No, there's no Brewmaster. Never mind. Yeah, they picked the Lich because Brewmaster's banned. That's it. For me.
Okay, right. Genius pick. Right, were you a fan of the Lich, or do you think it just suits the Wolf Team playstyle?
I think everyone is just getting Lich and keeping an eye on the zero because everyone is watching Wolf Team. The zero is pretty decent at position 5. It's good this game against Monkey because of the Frozen Shield. It's good against Enchantress because of Chain Frost. If Lich is, it's really the player is really good. It's decent against Best Rider because of the Sinister Gaze. So I really enjoyed Lich this game, but I think they need a stronger carry on the lane.
It's
It's going to be Visage carry.
Okay, so the real is Monkey King carry then, with this Marcy pick.
Yes. Theoretically, the Batrider is still flex.
Right, as
Theoretically.
off lane or mid.
Yes.
Are you not a fan?
About the Batrider flex?
Yeah.
I mean, I never played against a Batrider in side lane, so I can't really tell you. I think the
Okay.
hero's weak because if he too much magic wand, then this is bad on side lanes because you're gonna like good heroes gonna have 20 stick charges, so hard to kill, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Depends so much on levels. I don't enjoy the zero on the off lane though. Everyone's picking Marcy, but I feel like every game Marcy it's kind of useless. You know, I don't know. I feel like Marcy is a bad Tiny. I'm going to pick Marcy, just go for Tiny. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. Why is Tiny better than Marcy though?
The Avalanche is super broken right now. The hero can just flex into a big core in the late game. He goes
Okay.
for deeper games. And on the lane phase itself, I think it does a better job than Marcy, you know? You can just toss your ally, you can just toss the heroes. I feel like
Interesting.
Marcy, it's weird right now.
I feel like
Hero's not
Marcy
that
has Marcy's strength is a laning phase though, right? Because you dispose and you get into a kill pretty easily.
Yeah, it's okay on the lane phase, but I still rather have a Tiny, you know?
Right.
If
Okay.
Marcy is going to be playing the position 4, of course.
Also, if it's 5, then you're kind of okay with Marcy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right,
we
it's
need-
Ursa time for Infinity. Let's
Okay.
go. Pick me the Ursa.
Is it because they banned Juggernaut that you're suggesting the Ursa, or why?
It's good against Monkey King because even though he uses his ulti, you can burst him because of
Mhm.
your swipes, and like they banned Viper is also good against Batrider because of OT. It's hard to lasso him. It's whatever against Enchanters, like goes both ways because you pierce Enchanter's ulti, but she also takes off your W if she saves her dispel. And it's a solid lane with Lich. You actually have kill potential. And it's on Radiant. They have a snowball draft and they just need a good carry that would take Roche, farm, and win the game because they have a farm-in lineup to fight all the time against SG. So it seems like a good battle for Ursa game.
SG Esports turn to
Infinity will be picking up.
Oh. Okay.
RDO, what's your
What?
thoughts on the Slark?
I don't really like it. I feel like it's a budget Ursa. But
It is,
it doesn't really scale because you cannot buy greedy items on Spark. You can just go like for the diffuser, maybe you get Midas so you scale. But now they're fully into some snowball lineup and they only have Visage as Siege. So I don't really like it.
Yep. It does feel a little weird. Or you
Yeah, I
would
don't
you
enjoy
flex the
either.
bat mid now and just pick a better offlane?
I don't think putting bad on the side lane is that bad this game. Okay, they
Okay.
just flex into bad, just put Enigma off. I don't know, I feel like this Lark pick is kinda trash. I don't like it.
Talks.
I don't like it at all.
Toxic, he says.
I'm just speaking my mind.
Why is it trash? Why do you think it's so bad?
I feel like the hero is super weak, and oh shit, my camera. I feel like the hero is super weak, and on the lane phase itself, this last pick on Enigma is just excellent against Slark on the lane and on the game. I'd rather if they have an Ursa, would be better.
Yeah. Would that mean that you're going for SG once again? Are you?
Yeah, big SG from here.
Okay. RDO, what about you? Are you gonna trust this weird carry number 2, Slark, or not really?
No. I'll go with the classic Monkey King. No Slark fans in here. I'll go with SG again. Let's go.
Okay, that was very clear. RDO, guided by his hatred of the carry, is gonna go for SG. So will SG take this into a 2-0? Will Infinity show us that this carry is still alive? We're gonna have to see as we go into game number 2 between SG and Infinity Esports. Thank you, Abo. I do not believe in the Slark either. Now that I'm in a caster, I can say it. God, I hate that hero. He just feels so weak. I know Lizard was talking about the Slark Radiance build that they're doing in China. But I've watched the games after, or I watched some of the Dota buff, and he was on point what he was saying. Essentially, you go Slark Soul Ring, right? Slark Soul Ring into Radiance. And that was the build. And the play is you let your team carry your first 30 minutes, and then you do well in the late game, right? But if that's your build, then you can play any other carry, and I feel like you might have more impact. So I do question what the strength of the...
Oh,
In SA.
That's an-
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
an interesting
Yeah.
stat.
Yeah. Like we were saying, this hero is just kind of bad, and that's why we say it's the first pick, or the producer was telling us the first pick in SA, which is not surprising. It's just really terrible.
This,
I don't
this
have zero
entire
trust in it.
season as well, not just tour. So, yeah, it's not a hero that I think is really good either. They did make a couple of changes to the hero in 731C and D. I'll bring up the C changes because it's not like we saw a ton of Slark in C. Anyway, not C as in the region of Dota, as in the 731C patch. They reduced the mana cost again on Dark Pact. So they've kind of been rebalancing and finely tuning this ability for a while. It used to kind of be really busted when we saw Slark for like a month, and then they quickly nerfed
The Soul Ring build.
A Soul Ring and a Falcon Blade, I think he was also going for, right?
Yep.
For the mana regen. So they've reduced the mana regen by 10 from 75 to 65 and kind of buffed the early damage. And they made some changes as well to Essence Shift. It's doesn't last as long at the higher levels, but it does last longer at the early levels. So he's better in lane for fighting now, it would seem. But yeah, I just don't think this hero is any good. Who was it? RDO saying like this hero is just like crappy Ursa, basically, is how he feels and how he plays for the most part.
I agree with that because, by the way, I'm assuming we're not going into the game because it's paused, right?
It is paused, yes.
Okay.
Oh, right, you don't know that. Yes. No,
yes.
it's extremely paused.
It's extremely paused. It's very paused. Just to explain to people that we have no, we don't get any sort of satisfaction out of seeing our own faces. We would like to see Dota instead, but it is paused, which is why we're not going to it. But as you were saying with the Slark pick, I feel like the Essence Shift was a really weird. I think it was a nerf actually, because if you're maxing Essence Shift in lane, right, which is or like getting 2 points per se, right, going for that build, you either took away a point from Pounds, which doesn't feel very good, or you're not maxing Dark Pact, which means you don't have a farming tool, so it doesn't feel like it's a good build. And at the max level, even if it's a small nerf, it does matter a lot. That's where the duration really matters. So, yeah. I am not like I didn't like that change. I don't know if this hero is really that strong right now. We're seeing an Echo Sayer being built by Lumiere, so it doesn't even feel like the Chinese Slark build. I'm hoping Lumiere can show us the strength of this hero, but I also feel like SG has a pretty good lineup against him. Slark struggles against the Monkey King because of the extra armor inside the Wukong's command. Slark can't really go inside of it. It's very similar to Lycan plays, right? You want to like create chaos in the fight. Monkey King stands in a circle, can't be attacked. Enigma is really good against Slark for obvious reasons, both in lane and outside of it. Enchantress doesn't struggle against Slark either until he gets Silver Edge, and then you have to commit Silver Edge for the Enchantress alone. I feel like it's a pretty good game for SG.
Yep. Yeah, on top of that, like, this Visage, I think, is kind of hard canceled this game. Not to the point where, like, you know, Enchantress is going to be able to enchant one of his familiars. It's not, like, that bad, but I just don't really see any of these heroes that he's going to be able to run down, besides maybe an Enigma, but because it is going to be a core Enigma for Frank, like, he's going to be fairly tanky. He's going to probably have a Wraith Pact early on, which is going to buff his Eidolons, which can maybe even outfight your birds. I don't know. It's not a great game either. I struggle to see how Infinity are going to really enable this Slark on top of that, because, you know, without going for an early defusal, I think Lumiere is going to be forced to rely on his teammates to make a little bit of early space for him to eventually start scaling into the game. It's good against the Bat Rider, at least, right? That's going to be always a good part about this pick.
That was what I saw, right? You see Bat, you're like, oh, snap, pick the Slark, let's go. We got him countered, but you already had him pretty countered with the Invoker pick, right? I don't feel like this was necessary. Even Lich, I think, can be a pretty big nuisance to Bat, because you can... Do you know if the Frost Shield has, like, at max range, does it affect the Bat when you're lassoing someone? I think it does, right?
The Frost Shield? Yeah, it should.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so then you're slowed, right, when you're taking someone out, on top of course, the damage resistance. So you already have pretty good picks against Bat.
Yeah, but you only resist the physical damage, right? So it's, you know, if someone's going to die to the lasso, they're probably just going to die to the lasso and Flame Break and Firefly and all that, right? That's plenty of damage. That's the Frost Shield's not going to help against. Will help, though, against all these stacks of Napalm.
Right?
Oof. When will these attacks start coming out from Faker?
You don't.
There it goes. There it goes. Hell
Firefly,
yeah.
You can't.
Hell yeah. Half HP on an Invoker.
So this is, by the way, what is very interesting about this mid lane matchup is, as Batter, you understand that you can't really Firefly onto the Invoker and kill him. As, by the way, bottom lane, they get a kill onto LTH. Good job, Lumiere. Okay, this lane already starting really well. It is a good, strong lane, Lich Slark, I will say that. But the Invoker's Batter matchup is a matchup where Batter rarely goes for the Firefly early, because you can't jump onto Lumiere, or onto PP, right? And that's why PP can play with all these stacks on him and feel much more confident, even without the Tornado, because he knows Bat does not have kill potential. Flame Break is good for harassment Bats. It's not enough to get a kill. So it's interesting how this changes the matchup of a Bat Rider completely.
Plus, with a wand on top of the Quast Regeneration for the Master Tier, Grand Master Tier Invoker. The Grand Magus. He's looking pretty alright, fairly healthy as Faker now runs himself out of mana. He's got, I guess, another Sticky Napalm if he wants to go for it, but not a whole lot of damage to follow up. Always not going to feel great for him. This offlane for Infinity is not super strong. Widge, I think, with a creep, does have some pretty decent kill potential. You know, the changes to Battery Assault, while they do make Clock's life slightly easier, yeah, he still struggles, as we can see immediately being dealt some chain lightning damage.
Yeah, I mean, you can at least deal with the creep a little bit better, like you said now. And Widge, okay. Soul Assumption almost killed him, but you have the healing. The Boundless Strike was available, but he calculated correctly. It was not enough to kill off Genic.
Yeah, 40 bonus damage, probably not enough for the Clockwork 3 base armor. It's not too bad. Plus, he did have himself a Fairy Fire. Maybe just try to force the Fairy Fire out of fear or something like that. But you know, Clock not blinking there.
Clock's robots don't feel emotions yet, right? He's not working for Google, so he's not like an advanced AI or anything.
Yeah, they don't have to blink. You know, he's got the lubrication in his eyes, like much like Mark Zuckerberg. Mariano in trouble though. So he is left alone. There's no boundless strike, so he'll be all right.
That was very odd, weird. I was not expecting that, to be honest.
What do you mean?
Berna, he still wins this lane against the Visage, which makes Marina not so good. And Marina knows he can really only go against Widge. So at worst case, you only lose your 5. I don't think it's that big a deal. I feel like Berna's comfortable with just farming this. And because bottom is going so well for the Enigma and there's not much kill potential against them either, it doesn't feel like you're going to be able to come out of this laning stage on top. I think the mid lane matchup is what Infinity to a degree is relying on. And that is something that they do well, though. Slark does need a lot of space in the early, and Invoker is a great hero providing that. So they can play around that maybe a little bit more.
this Slark matchup is rough. I just watched him right-click an Eidolon 4 times. He took half of his health as damage in exchange, and then when he almost killed an Eidolon, they just all timed out anyway. Like, it's brutal. Of course, Slark very much would... I mean, he's got a whole passive, right, for trading with other heroes. Gets no opportunity to do so, except for a cheeky little bit there against LTH.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of Slark's worst matchups historically, right? And now Slark is his own worst matchup. So, Widge, he wants to commit for this kill against Genic, and I think he is gonna get it. Up to the high gun he goes. Solo assumption from Widge, but he's barely alive here. Still has the salve, still has the fairy fire.
What the heck?
Mariano, I think he went a bit too far. Primal Spring not available here, so and no Orb of Venom either, so they can't slow him down.
Yeah, so he does have boots early on Visage, which is sometimes an item that gets skipped in favor of like an earlier Vlad's or something like that. Certainly a necessity in this lane. So he's very speedy with Grave Chill, even just level 1. Mid lane. They have caught now Faker inside some cogs. The battery salt active, PP closing the gap. Doesn't have spells though. Yeah, Cold Snap ready in 5 more seconds, and they can keep chasing, but with Widge nearby, trying to provide enough healing, Fairy Fire, yeah, it's not going to be enough. Perhaps even enough to set up for killing the Widge. No. Okay, Invoker wants none of this. In fact, they're going to get the courier kill. But not a bad kill here whatsoever for PP. It's not earned charges yet, but it is significant progress. They do get Lumiere. Oof, this lane.
Yep. I mean, they left him alone. They're like, oh, Slark, freebie, I guess. Which does mitigate some of the Invoker impact. I mean, I feel like PP can do a lot this early, but it's difficult when you've lost your side lane, particularly the bottom lane, so hard. So maybe he can punish Berna a little bit more. Genic is certainly here. And get a Cogs pushback, perhaps. Berna not surrounded by creeps, so those battery assault's going to hit him, solely him. That's level 2 battery assault as well. Berna will die. Another good kill for Infinity.
Yeah. That looked and I guess was incredibly easy. Simply a clockwork running up on a Monkey King.
Clock is strong. Right.
Yeah. Especially with the Grave Chill slow, stealing a lot of that movement speed. Monkey just didn't really run. Could barely get off 2 stacks of Jingu as well, as Lumiere is really struggling in this bottom lane.
What is?
Frank is opposite of struggling. He's having a fantastic time. And even is going to go for an early BKB. He's going to buck the trend of like the straight Wraith pack that I've been seeing a lot of. Prada?
This fight is so weird. Prada is the target. And LTH will stay here a little bit too long. He starts to dispose. Tornado hits him. Can dispose the Stark. Doesn't get him into the cliff though. Malefice will hit. And Dark Pact will just be able to dispel that. That was so odd because Faker took like forever to rotate. And Marcy was just hitting the Lich for a solid like 10 seconds. And it was just like a warning call from the Lich. He just called all of Infinity over to them.
Yeah,
it was odd. I don't know what that was.
Tornado Lift also wasn't ideal. It prevents Slark from stealing the Essence Shaft or securing the kill. I mean, not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, right? You get the kill anyway. Slark doesn't die because of it or anything crazy. Top lane, they're still fighting again. They try again for the Monkey King, but LTH is here with the Dispose, and even the Mud Golem is going to hurl a boulder towards the Gargoyle. Familiars, though, are out, and they are getting some good damage here in onto Widge, which allows them to get the kill. Familiar's now hunting, searching here for Berna, and they have found him finally, but he's managed to heal up enough in the trees with the salve that he's basically immune to getting jumped here. A couple of cheeky stuns out from the Familiars, but not a serious kill attempt.
Yeah, but
here's the lane that they wanted, right? Lumiere is finally in a lane that he can do something in. Oh, he's not... Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, he's gonna die, I think, Berna here. Once again, the battery assault keeping him at bay. Berna can't jump onto a tree. The Familiars also scout him perfectly. I mean, he didn't really have any options, because if he TP'd there, Familiars just cancel it, but yeah, he just died. At least bottom, they can push a tower as a result, but top, I think Infinity will try to do the same thing here.
Yep. Yeah, and again, Lumiere is now finally finding a little bit of farm in the mid lane. He's not going to get lucky with the power rune. It's a haste for Faker. That could be lethal. Probably not against Lumiere, though, right? Who just needs to save Dark Pact and he's good to go. So a nice, well, the next best move, right, for Infinity. They've got no business in this bottom lane versus this Enigma as he takes the tower. So instead they send 4 heroes to the top lane who push alongside the Visage Familiars, and they'll be able to equalize here the tower advantage. There is, however, perhaps a fight coming for SG. And with the haste, Rune Faker is potentially very strong.
Yeah, but not sold on this though. I mean, he has Firefly in 5 seconds, but you can just Tornado and dispel that haste rune. Be really careful with your positioning. Not sure. At least Monkey King is nearby. Berna is again overcommitting to this lane, giving some more farm to the Enigma. Okay, now they got PP. That's a good dispose. They have the damage, even tanking that EMP. Tornado from PP. And then hitting the Ogre Bruiser, but Berna will get his revenge. Frank is once again, though, the carry, pretty much, it seems like. They're just giving him more space than they're giving the Monkey King.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of space. You know, almost seems like he went for like a Helm build or something like that, right? With how much he's starting to really creep into this jungle. Of course, all of this is going to be much to the detriment of the Slark especially. But for now, Slark can hold his own in the mid lane and even kind of passively defend it versus Faker. Faker himself not doing any much direct tower damage, but indirectly, right, by nuking waves, can certainly present a threat. Lumiere will gladly take creeps that are relatively safe underneath his tier 1 tower.
Yeah, he's like a bad Timbersaw, right? That's what the play is here for Faker. We're also seeing, by the way, for Frank, he's deciding between either going for the typical Vlads that we see all the time in Enigma, or the BKB straight up. Because Black Hole is such an impactful spell this game, there is a case to be made for like a BKB Blink as opposed to the Vlads. But it does take longer for the Enigma to come online. Maybe that's why they're giving him so much priority. We'll see.
I'd like to see Vlad's first, if I'm being honest with you. BKB is strong, but you still have Clockwork that can cancel a Black Hole with Hookshot, so even with BKB, right? So it's not the be-all, end-all as mid lane. They will get Widge for this.
Yeah, it's okay. It does for a tower. I think he didn't need to be there, though. He could just send the creep, but it's whatever. I agree with you. I actually would, maybe not necessarily the whole Wraith pack, but Vlad's alone, because it's kind of cheap. Just buy it. You already have the Basilius anyway.
Yep, and he's going to buy it. He went, you know what, Avo? I already do have the Ring of Bazzi. And he buys out for the item. The rest of Infinity, however, are starting to push mid lane. I wonder when we're going to start to see Enigma rotate away. They very much could use him here, as they are setting up the siege. Genek as well behind the tower here is doing a good job scouting for any potential sneaky Enigma rotations. But it's LTH going to kick it off. Unfortunately, Cold Snap here prevents him from getting a good dispose off. Tornado as well is not going to dispel the ulti, but again, continuing to disrupt here at the Marcy. Doesn't really allow her to do much of all here.
That unleash took too long. I mean, I guess because you're not used to playing Marcy and considering that a dispel, but if he had just dispelled the Cold Snap as soon as it hit him, which he could have, then he could just got the dispose off right afterwards. So, a little bit of a misplay there by LTH. I mean, I get it that you're not used to seeing unleashes of dispel, right? Like, that's not, but as a support hero, you gotta get used to using that spell in that way. And pretty much only that way.
Oh, the Familiars, they're gonna lose one. And actually a nice move here as they put the Frost Shield on the second. Frank's got Black Hole, no mana to use it, no HP either. So he eventually will fall. Sunstrike almost hitting Widge there on the way back out, but it's Chain Frost, which is now bouncing around here. Good damage. That's going to bounce on over to Faker. A second. Oh, wow. Unlucky. Faker still alive, but should tick down to the urn of all things. No, he's going to stay alive. Unlucky there. Oh.
I mean, that Chain Frost, the last miss, you got to be super frustrated about it. Yeah. Was literally bouncing between two heroes. They didn't play well against that Chain Frost at all. But
no,
Widge just tanked the last hit.
Better not just jumped right next to held hands with the Bat Rider.
Yeah, it was like, guys, if we just all bunch up, it's like Omni Slash, right? It can't hit all of us. It's genius.
Well, tower defended. Enigma does die, but again, as Puppy, as Shiver, as whatever said, you know, it's not always about the Black Hole, but about the threat of the Black Hole here.
Richie, it's as SeeknStrike said, Shiver said, Puppy said. I think
that's where we're at now. Hookshot committed bottom here for LTH. He can not rebound for another second because he doesn't have it here. And instead they're going to turn onto the Clockwork, where LTH eventually is going to be able to unleash a little bit there onto the Man of Metal.
LTH though, I know you feel like you're strong right now, but they're going to catch you. There we go. There's no dispel either. He's dead.
Dead. Yep, he's going to die to just to the tornado damage, if not the vessel.
Look, you can't kill a Clockwork and do a celebration jump around, right? Like, you know Invoker's coming for you. It's the play. Like, that's what Wasp makes Invoker's all about. So.
It's good space for Lumiere, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I was concentrating on him too. Like, he's not going for the Radiance build we've seen in China. He's just going Echo Saber, Shadow Blade. So it's just old Slark. Not even the Soul Ring, dude. It's just it's like he never saw a patch happen.
Well, I don't know. It's like it's this kind of weird semi-neo Slark, right? It's not Falcon Blade, but it's also not like old item Diffusal or Shadow Blade first item Slark. You know, like that's really old Slark. But yeah,
no. It's Echo Saber, Shadow Blade. It's like when in the 1700s people started building Greek columns again. They're like, oh, this is neo postmodernism. Nah, it's Greek, dude. You just did the same thing again. You can call it whatever you want, but it's the same column.
A little new. Echo Saber hasn't been in the game for... I mean, it's been in the game for like 4 years, but Slark's been really out of the meta for a long time.
Has Echo Saber really only been in the game for 4 years?
Yeah, Echo Saber's relatively new. Like, generally speaking. It's not as new as Wraith Pact, for example, or Helm 2. Oh, hookshot. Bedna. Be in a spot of trouble here. Ganek might have bit off more than he could chew, but Lumiere's actually going to get involved here in the kill. Tornado there would have lifted and set up for a second kill here had Faker actually completed the TP. He will not. He chooses life.
I see a fan of train spawning.
Good old, I really need to watch that now. Ewan McGregor did a good job in Obi-Wan, and I should probably watch his Watershed movie, shouldn't I?
Train spotting is one of the best movies ever. Even 2 is pretty good. It's been 6 years, by the way, since Echo Saber was added.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. 2016, dude. April 2016.
Did he get added with Monkey King in that patch?
I don't know, man. That's what you asking me for.
Because Monkey King was 6 years ago. I remember they revealed him at TI6. I was there in the crowd.
I don't know. Doesn't seem like.
Sounds right.
Could be. I won't say no. Yeah, I don't have that much skill.
Here, not an ideal jump, as they do find the Enigma as well. Hookshot is fantastic. LTH just jumping on through for the rebound, allows Faker to get out of this one. Chain Frost bouncing around, though, still disrupting the position of SG Esports, as Marcy, with a good dispose, at least trades away Ganek. But the question is, can they get any more? Even Prada here proving to be a little bit difficult to take down, as Bedna bailing from this fight there, jumping away, springing into the trees, does condemn Faker.
Not a great understanding of their resources, I think, on SG, to be honest. Their biggest resources are obviously the Wukong's Command and the Black Hole. You lose the Enigma really early in the fight. The lasso is really irrelevant in these fights.
Almost there on the Sunstrike. Lumiere
Almost.
Continues to get
so
chased.
it feels like once the Enigma dies, you just need to retreat. I don't know why they continue that fight afterwards. I mean, they get the kill on the Clockwork, but afterwards to re-engage anyway and losing the bat for free. Infinity has low cooldowns. They don't have any big spell they rely on, so you have to be really careful with this positioning here. Now they go for Mariano. Okay, they have the Black Hole this time. This is a good fight instead. Frank is just trying to catch at least Mariano, but Tornado will immediately cancel this. Mariano will die to the Midnight Pulse or to the Monkey King themselves. As they catch the Lasso Slark, but he has a Dark Pact in time, so he won't fall just yet. Prada will be the target instead. Hookshot to make sure Lumiere can make it out, as LTH just pulls him in the middle of the Dark Pact though, so no stun will hit. But Berna is still chasing after Lumiere. Shadow Dance is available for Lumiere. We do have Boundless Strike in 1 second. Potentially get the stun off. Needs to see where he is though. Where's the Primal Spring? Where's the jump? The Tree Dance? Lumiere's out.
Yeah, that was kind of a hopeless pursuit there, I want to say. It's really hard to catch a Slark this early on. They still force him back. Monster cogs there, by the way, by those Clockwork. He actually hit 3 people, 4, I would argue. Because, he hookshots in, stuns 2, he traps 1 inside the cogs, and pushes 3 away as soon as they spawn in, which was just, like, the most work I've ever seen cogs do ever. It was incredible.
Yep.
Careful bottom. Lumiere is hunting. He wants a monkey. Oh, he's cut the tree! Oh, no.
Let's find Berna dying. Chain Frost with the Spire! He's gone!
Oh, yeah. That's what you want on Prada. Beautiful usage of the Ice Spire. This thing is really good, this ability, to be honest. Doesn't help Lich farm a lick, but he doesn't really need it because he's got Frost Blast. But even that AoE slow is incredibly annoying. Holy moly, what a jump by Infinity.
I mean, yeah, that cutting of the tree was really on point. You have to be careful, though, because Lumiere always knows when there's either a ward or Monkey King in a tree. And if Lumiere's, like, normally walking and he all of a sudden loses vision, he can guess the Monkey King probably jumped in his vicinity, right?
Oh, right. Sorry.
The Shadow Dance.
That was a ward, comma, or a Monkey King in a tree. I thought you said a ward, a Monkey King, or a tree. What? There's always trees.
Oh, right. No, it's not a Shell Silverstein poem. LTH will die here. Solo attempt at Lich's life. Not a fan of this play. Yeah, I'll settle on that.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that one here. Frank does not have Black Hole yet, so we can really only throw the Eidolons here to kind of dissuade Infinity from diving for more, which for now at least will, kind of guide Infinity into the jungle and towards this tier 2 tower. So one change, one change, right, that still is a nerf to Slark overall, I agree, right, 20 less seconds on the Essence Shift, even though he hasn't maxed the ability yet, is certainly overall a nerf. One thing that it does reinforce for Slark players is this mentality of constantly fighting around your low downtimes, right? So in the right kind of draft, now that you're going to be more incentivized to kind of draft around that idea, it kind of hyper-focuses the hero to do the thing that he excels at when you pick him alongside these other heroes, right? Like, Clockwork can fight pretty continuously. Visage ain't bad either if he's not killed immediately.
Look, I get your point. But I feel like if you're in a lineup like SG, right? LTH, they don't pounce him, though.
He's got Aether Lens.
Yeah, it's like, why pounce, right? Like, it's not like you can jump or anything. I think a minute hook shot. LTH is dead.
They're going to grief the Sunstrike. Beautiful Sunstrike, by the way.
Yeah, so the thing about it is that, like, you're right, they can fight on low cooldowns, but SG's lineup is very cooldown dependent. But they keep fighting when the spells are on cooldown. So, if you give the enemy team exactly what they want, obviously they're gonna take it. I don't know, like, I wish I could praise Infinity for these plays, but it feels like SG is not aware of what their lineup is supposed to do.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's true, right? That certainly is true. But again, like, just to come back to my point, like, Infinity are incentivized to draft for this overall. Like, regardless of, like, SG, even if they had, like, Enigma mid, Tidehunter off lane, Chronosphere safe lane, you know what I mean? Like, even if they had all these ginormous cooldowns, like, Infinity still want to play the faster game because they can, right? It's an easier game for them to play as well when Slark can basically almost always fight, with notable exception to the Shadow Dance. But I see what you're saying. Like, SG certainly are making this look stronger than it potentially is, which is certainly their own fault. But, credit to Infinity. They still drafted pretty decently around the Slark.
No, they understood what they were doing. I think the draft for Infinity is well done, but you could have put anyone, like Ursa, Troll, whatever, that's low cooldown, that would have been fine too, It's just more the fact that I feel like SG shouldn't be giving so much freedom to him. And this is fine. If Witch tanks again, because it's okay. In fact, now they could initiate because they have Black Hole available. There's no Blink Dagger on Frank. He actually went for half a BKB. As they find Lich. At least it'll be a kill, but BKB has been committed on the Batrider. They have a lasso here. Ooh, almost got PP. Maybe you have to settle for something easier like Mariano. Stun. We'll use the Wukong's command. A target is the Slark, apparently, but it's kind of hard to kill him. The Black Hole's used onto nothing.
Ooh, no.
Oh, I guess the Familiars. They did lasso the Invoker, though, so they caught him because the Black Hole distracted the enemy team. And now, thanks to Wraithback, Frank can last this. It's a distraction Black Hole, Richie. And it's almost working because they might kill the Slark. He Shadow Blades himself to safety. LTH will die to the Visage instead as they cancel Genix TP. We get a Flame Break. That sends back Mariano. They're looking for Mariano kill. Slark might be a bit too difficult. Shadow that's been committed. Faker playing around with his flying power he has. As Lumiere out of mana. Doesn't have Magic Wand charges for 4 more seconds. They're seeing him, but they don't want to commit to him. They understand they're not strong enough anymore.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, once again, as I say, as Shiver says, as Puppy says, it's not about the black hole, right? It's about the threat of the black hole. And that certainly really did scatter Infinity. I mean, like, that was like cockroaches when you turn on the lights. And they all just
scatter
like, ooh,
black hole, right?
Get out of here, yeah. And it does isolate the Invoker quite nicely. Well played to Faker, who makes the best of that situation. He doesn't get, to jump into the center of the black hole and kind of light everyone on fire with the flame break, but he does at least still get a really solid blast off. Bedna, by the way, is, being stalked by Lumiere. This is not an easy kill, though, for Lumiere. A little bit easier now that he's got vision, but, a little difficult, you can see. Okay.
I mean, now it's time for us to take a chill pill, use Enchantress as a frontliner, and just tank ganks, right?
Uh-oh, Frank.
Oh, Frank didn't get the memo. At least it's BKB, he'll be fine.
Yeah, well, that's not too big of a deal, because it's not like...
No, that's okay.
It's a little bit of a deal, because he's going to have a slight kind of overlap where he has Black Hole and he doesn't have BKB. It's less than 10 seconds. So, is that really going to be a big deal? Probably not. But,
it's not. Especially because Enigma doesn't care if it's 9, 8, 7, 6, right? And you just want the 6-second BKB, you're fine with that.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, and then there he wants to
LTH.
live, obviously, versus Lumiere, who is slightly body blocked there by the easy camp, jumping in, trying to find the Marcy. Marcy does not have anything to rebound to. Oh no, I'm dying to something in the fog of war, and it's a Slark. Throws himself
no.
onto the cover here of the Depth Shroud. There he is. I'm not sure why he stopped attacking there for a second, but gave the kill to Peepee. What a nice guy. You noticed
that was
that,
why.
right?
Yeah. Peepee was like, I want this kill. I was like, are you sure? And they had a moment to discuss. Slark had to ponder that play.
They rolled for it in team chat.
That might be why, actually.
Takes a second.
Anyway,
you know, for the
LTH dying
roll
there is not a big deal because you make sure Slark is not pushing your buildings. Like, this is the play I was expecting from them when Black Hole is not available. Now, if Berna dies, though, he's been scouted with SeeknStrike. Berna, you better run. Rocket Flare scouted him too, but they don't want to
jump through trees. And here's Aegis expiring. They might not actually get this tower. And well-utilized Fortify here. And now, again, the Black Hole is ready to go, and BKB on top makes this a very undesirable location for Infinity to be fighting around.
Yes. Oh, interesting. The Impetus doesn't deal extra damage to the familiars, huh?
No, it does. Visage just is blocking a lot of it with Gravekeeper's Cloak, right?
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I was gonna say that did not seem like enough damage for Widge.
Yeah, no, Gravekeeper's Cloak, very good passive. 80% damage reduction, yes, please.
Oh, very, very good. Does it work on pure? Oh, it's just any damage reduction? Oh, wow.
Pardon?
Yeah, I thought I know I thought it was like a magical physical, but I guess yeah.
No, it is all damage, yeah. So yeah, familiars can certainly tank up, right? That's why like whenever Visage pushes high ground, it's like the worst thing in the world whenever he's got AC and Vlad's aura. Because he just sits on the low ground within the cloak aura, and then you can't kill his familiars. It's impossible. It sucks so much.
Okay, sorry, I got scared there because I thought Lumiere could die here, but then Frank has no blink dagger. Wasn't in position. There's a play. Lasso, okay, for PP. Can they bring him back? They put him in the Wukong's command. LTH is happy to die for this as they get PP as a result. Frank is coming. Don't use the black hole for the clockwork, okay? Clock will just TP away, it's fine.
Oh no.
Mariano's a better target anyway.
No.
Mariano? We have Malefice? Do we have anything? There's the black hole. Okay. For Mariano, I would say it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
Still feels bad though.
Yeah, and that was just sadness there on the Lich ulti. Prada, I'm not sure what happened. Maybe.
Oh, he chain frosted? I didn't see
He
that.
did chain frost. Yeah, he threw it at the Bat Rider, and Bat Rider wasn't next to anyone. But of course, with chain frost, or sorry, with Ice Spire, that's a viable play. But like the Ice Spire was just so late. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he lost vision, right? I suppose on the Bat Rider. So he was like, I'm not sure where he is. I want to put chain frost or the Ice Spire right next to him, so chain frost actually kills him. And then just didn't get a single bounce at all, which was pain. And with the Eidolons running in, I could see why he didn't want to just throw it into the massive heroes, because there's a very good chance that Eidolons just, absorb the entire thing. But, yeah, not the best there, unfortunately. Really close, actually, once again, to catching Bedna there. Oh. And they have caught him now. You do not break trees, unfortunately, with Cogs. Oh, wow. But the Bash is certainly going to cancel that TP on the Echo Saber. They're going to get him down. There's going to be the Depth Shroud as well to cover them, to make sure they don't give Jingu stacks, and an easy kill for Infinity.
So on one hand, the original Berna play, I'm going to just go through the trees, was not the best play. But on the other hand, first hit Bash feels a little bit bullshit. So I feel bad for Berna there.
Well, he's
wasn't
got
even the second hit of the Echo Saber.
50-50 chance, really. You bash or you don't. And Faker,
bash,
well,
you don't. Faker,
well, we'll see. Oh,
50-50 chance you deliver, you don't.
Oh no. Oh no, yeah. You don't want to try and BKB and fight a Slark. That's not going to work in your favor here.
You do not have Black Hole.
Oh, there it is. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Once again, on over to the Eidolons here. You did get those Eidolons, though. And that neutral creep. Screw you, Warpine Raider. It's about the worst Chain Frost. Very unlucky, that one, I must add. Very unlucky.
Yes. The Eidolons make it hard, though. I will say, though, SG keeps getting baited into like, oh, I think we can win this fight. But this time I saw the discipline in their eyes and realizing, no, we cannot. There's no Monkey King. There is no Black Hole. I appreciate this from SG. It is a change from what we saw in the early mid-game, where the moment they see a small opportunity, they sniff it out like a hound, right? This is better.
I believe that was the last long-duration BKB for Bat Rider. You talked about how Enigma doesn't really care about his BKB duration.
Yeah,
Faker
but-
kinda does, you know. He would very much like to have that mobility, or freedom of mobility, right, along with the Firefly, to not have to worry about a tornado or a Lich slowing him or whatever. So it is a slightly bigger deal for him, but it's at 6 seconds now, so can't go any lower at least.
Yeah, the Influence will help him though initiate, so maybe that makes up for the 6-second BKB. That
Yeah,
will
very
allow
good
him to
point.
initiate from further. Enigma's really close to that Blink Dagger, Richie. We're about to see Frank actually play the game.
Yeah, he's got BKB, he's got Wraith Pact now, lots of items here, really, for the Enigma. A hero that historically can and does manage to find a lot of farm, especially given a lane to kind of just AFK in. And that's certainly paid off here. I doubt that, well, actually, we can check if this is his gem, can't we? And it is his gem, I believe.
Oh well. Okay, I'm not a fan that he bought his own gem. I mean, I guess that he's a good offlaner, but like a good person, I mean. But I do think he should have just decided to deviate into the Blink instead. He finally got it though, so it's good.
There we go.
Now you smoke on this probably.
No, I think you want to probably wait for Roche first, right? Because you need to make sure that he's up before you really commit. Because the absolute worst thing in the world for SG would be if they committed for a fight really hard, especially with Black Hole, and then Roche
They don't
wasn't
care
up.
about
It's
this.
been a long time, though. It's a long Roche
don't.
timer, because it's like 1/8 duration remaining here, but still 20 seconds. So they must know that it's a long Roche timer.
They don't care about you, Richie. I talk about. I don't think they consider that a second. They just pour like Blink. Yes,
It's
that's
super
fine.
risky, though, because if Infinity, like, for
I see your
example...
point. I think you're right, but I've talked to
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
SA teams to know they did not consider this. Well,
Well, SA teams, they always like throwing around Roche, don't they? Like the...
yeah,
Thunder
it is.
and
The
East
SA Roche
Coast,
is a
yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
Like when 5 out of 8 Division 1 teams have admitted to me they didn't actually do the Roche timer and that this new update was a godsend to them. I feel like I'm justified to say they did not care or think about the Roche at any moment in this Black Hole play.
All right, well, Roche is up now. Oh, good jump. Hookshot is not good,
Black
and
hole?
that's going to, free up Frank. He catches 2
Hey,
here with
Slark.
it.
Oh, he pounced
and
into
they
it.
almost throw Slark into it, but Lumiere still managing to find himself alive. There's 3 dead immediately for Infinity. No chance to win this fight anymore. In fact, they might not even make it out with these 2 heroes as PP. It's going to be pushed back there by the Flame Break. They've got a gem right on Frank, so he is going to be able to at least encourage them to go up to the high ground. The Dust as well does slow them both, but Lumiere looking to turn, finds a bash here onto Faker. The Fortify as well, as the familiar stuns do hit Berna only for a
Oh, they got
second. PP is killed, but the Boundless Strike is going to condemn Lumiere, and that's a full team wipe.
That was a really good play. They understood that they were in the driver's seat and they could like dive up to tier 3s and that was fine, right? That was good. I'm glad that SG understood now that the strength of their lineup and they're playing according to it. And whereas before they were being a little bit too risky, that's the right amount of risk. Really, really well played.
Yep.
Weird fight though. I don't know because I thought that the Enigma had shard because of how Stark was moving around like a headless chicken. He didn't. He pounced into the black hole towards the end of it, but got a shadow dance because he realized he pressed the wrong key, I presume. So he like shadow danced as he pounced. There's a lot of question marks there. Personally.
Yeah, maybe he was trying
Not really
to
sure what
connect
made
onto
him
the
turn or
Marcy.
what was happening to the Slurk. Oh, Prada,
Roche.
you are not in the right position, my friend.
Is also going down pretty fast. He's going to throw the ulti, didn't get the Ice Spire off again. Wiz is going to stay alive. That's going to be a soul assumption there, kill at least onto LTH. But Roche eventually is going to go down. I hear BKB. What's going on? What is going on?
Genek is trying to steal this, dude. He actually just hookshot 2 heroes, hookshot
Oh.
into the Roche pit. Not enough, though.
That Sunstrike did no damage. What? A maximal
separated-
Sunstrike. Oh, the
separated among the
Eidolons.
Eidolons.
Yeah. Good point. I didn't see them there. They blended in.
They do blend in. It's those little, like, the Eidolons that give life, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they
Seed of
look
life
just
Eidolons.
like Roche, basically, is what I was saying. What were you saying?
Yeah, they look exactly like Roche, because they're the seedlings of life, right? That's what I would call them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aethelens finished on the Batrider. That's going to help his initiations a lot. I feel like the last has become much more impactful as this has gone on because the Black Hole seems to be almost a distraction sometimes, and Faker's the real initiator, and he always gets the Invoker. He might be forcing a Linkens. He is forcing a Linkens on PP, and I think this is a really good pickup on PP.
Yeah, that does mean PP's got to invest in a secondary defensive item, right? Which never feels good for the Invoker, because then,
Sure.
you know, you've got your spells
Axe.
that you'd like to amp up. Yeah, Ag Scepter, right? Which, you know, well, you don't have any great part of me set up for it. I mean, who knows? With the way that this Clockwork's been playing the series so far, he might be able to, you know, trap a couple heroes inside of Cogs, which all of a sudden becomes very scary when there's 4 Sun Strikes coming in on you. But no opportunity this game, as he not going to farm the gold for it. Instead, secondary item. Alongside the Might, it'll continue to scale at the very least, this Invoker.
Hey, Witch just got Hurricane Pike in this game. He's going to start dealing some damage as well. He's pretty useful.
Yeah, it's got Enchanted
solo kill
Quiver. They did not manage to find themselves the, what's it called? The fake grenade either.
Lumiere?
Yo, Luminaire?
Lumiere? Lasso plus the black hole. And all the damage, all the ultis. Just kill him, kill him. There you go. We did it. Great job.
It doesn't have buyback, Gabo. That is going to be costly. But still has Aegis.
That's very costly.
Yeah, this is going to be pain right now for Infinity.
Yes, if towers felt pain, this is what they would feel right now. I mean, Invoker's a good high ground defender, but I do feel like without Stark it's going to be tough for them, but we'll see. There's no black hole or lasso, to be safe.
He only buys you like 1 wave is the problem, right? He can tornado and throw the meatball in, and there he goes. But that's once a wave, which is still not even going to clear the damn thing. And there you go.
Yeah, we got Frost Shield.
He's doing his best. He's doing his best, bless him. But they'll be back here in just 30 seconds, or they'll just go bottom, as Berna is thinking.
Yeah, but it's just tough, though. They're actually not piercing through these racks at all. They're expecting a little bit more damage from them. But the Frost Shield really nullifies them. You need a special dispose from the Marcy to like kill a single hero, but she's not getting the opportunity to jump in. Oh, played by Infinity. Oh, hook shot. Bottom.
Okay, Marcy's going to be deleted
she has
here.
one leash, but doesn't really matter too much.
No lifesteal there. A very reduced lifesteal, right, thanks to the Vessel debuff. So that's certainly paying off here for PP. So they will scare him off. In fact, Infinity are going to be emboldened as they head outside of the base here. DD rune picked up by Berna, though. Still with Aegis for another minute and a half, Avo. I don't know if Infinity really want to do this. It's a bad time to tango. Black Hole is still on cooldown, though, so maybe they think they can take it.
Yeah, I think no black hole, you can win a fight. DD or not, dude. I believe in them. I mean, look, if you can't win a fight where there's no black hole, DD or not, then you can't win this game. So I think it's time to try. Prove to me Slark is good.
Oh, something here. Lumiere, he's following the trail of fire. And with that Acceptor, he can pounce twice, but he cannot cancel a BKB unless he first hit bashes. Nope, didn't get the second hit either. 50-50, man. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
Thank God, though. Like, if you had another first hit bash, the 2 other initiations, he canceled off those. It's like, why bother buying Abyssal when you can just bash on the first hit every time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he didn't press the button. He must have mixed up his keybinds there.
Yeah, right. They didn't activate the cheat code there. Berna has Aegis and BKB. I don't know why he's fighting.
That's an awkward smoke, LTA.
They wasted all the stuns on Slark. They still have Lasso after the Dark Pact.
They
tried to, but Tornado disturbed this. There's a Chain Frost used. BKB for Berna as he activates his Wukong's command as well. He'll at least get the kill onto the Clockwork. That's all he gets out of this.
Hey, Black Hole's ready for Frank, though.
Sidekick.
Here he comes.
It's not going to be enough. Black Hole, available. Catches now the Invoker alone. Did not catch Mariano. Mariano, though, will be caught by the Boundless Strike instead. And Mariano can't be forced into the high ground. Can he survive, though? The Monkey King is hitting the Wraith Pact instead. Actually struck from behind. Kills off the Enigmas. Mariano falls, but Berna will be losing his Aegis here. Or maybe not. Berna, stop fighting back. Stop fighting back, Berna. Just die.
10 seconds.
Oh, no. He's healing instead.
No.
He doesn't have a target to lifesteal off of. He's playing with his Aegis. He's being kited. The cogs. Berna just wants to end his life. But
Oh my God.
Get the chance.
Oh, he clipped himself.
He's done for. They clipped him with a Force Staff. He's dead. Widge is now the next target. They don't need the Silver Edge. They got the Clockwork. Lumiere will finish off Widge.
Oh my lord.
What a win for Infinity.
Oh my lord. I cannot believe Infinity win that fight. I think halfway through they go, wait a second, guys, he's about to lose Aegis, isn't he? And they go, yeah, he is. And then Lumiere just backs off. He's got that Shadow Dance regeneration. It's just pain and misery there for Banada, especially as he gets Force Staffed up only to the cliff. Ah, yeah. You hate to see it, honestly. It's so funny, though.
I don't understand why we saw Frank Black Hole like behind him, which only caught the Invoker as opposed to Black Holing the Visage as well. I feel like that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, and it barely only caught Invoker. Like now he has Shard, and that's the reason it actually catches him. But like,
yeah,
not
I don't know. I feel
Black
like
Hole.
he was trying to Black Hole on himself to make sure Slark couldn't cancel with like a Basher. Maybe that was the idea, but it was just a At this point, I think you just take the chance and try to kill both heroes. Like everyone was bunched up around you.
I agree. I feel like if he also just waits like 2 seconds there, like 2 seconds, they were fighting underneath an SG ward. I really think Infinity were about to like group up for an Omega Black Hole there.
Yeah.
Like it was so close on that cooldown window. Like they played that perfectly for SG. I do think that maybe just a little bit of patience would have paid off for him there. Hard to tell, right? Of course, for Infinity, but to me, things were kind of trending in that direction in that fight.
I agree. But she's a refresher as well, now built up on Frank. So you had a lot of liberty now in these fights. That's why, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Mariano built Basher on the Visage.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
10% chance to bash, by the way.
He does get a fair amount of attack speed with a Grave Chill, so I can see, like, you actually have a pretty fair chance to bash on the Enigma. It's just to cancel Black Hole. That's the answer, like, really. It's not crazy.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
I mean, what else do you build that's that good, right? Oh, Mariano got caught by the lasso. Oh, no chance to bash like this, though. Frost Shield can't be dispelled because the BKB. Mariano actually make it alive. The hook shot. Look at get it go.
Wow, look at
actually
Wiz
go
as
to
well.
the grave.
Wow.
Yes.
Wiz has a moon shard.
Yes. He has the Hurricane Black though to get to safety.
Black Hole.
High he goes. Black Hole.
Oh
no! Immediately refresh, but that Black Hole didn't hit a single person. Frank gets the TP. He deserves the first hit bash away to the second Black Hole. Frank! No! What is happening to this poor man? Frank is losing it. Faker's the target now for Lumiere. Late LTH2, he's looking for the dispose. LTH might have to sacrifice himself as a result. There's the tornado, that's the final hit. Oh no,
my
Frank.
lord! Oh my lord!
He dropped the spaghetti, Richie. He's spaghettied all over the floor, mate.
Oh no! Oh, he panicked so hard. I commiserate so much with him there. The reason I'm laughing is because I'm pretty sure Mariano, of all people, actually bashed him out of TP on the range.
Oh my god, it was Mariano. That's why I didn't see the slug bash him. Oh
Mariano's like, I told you guys it was gonna work.
Oh, and then he tried to block Oaz.
Yes,
he tried to TP away, so now when he comes back, he has nothing.
We need a replay. I'll have to see this again.
Yeah, we do need to replay. Okay, alright. Okay, so first of all, they also broke the tree for the Monkey King, which I didn't
yes,
see.
they did.
That was a good initiation. The first Black Hole to nothing, and the panic blink on Frank. This is the TP.
They fucking killed Lumiere, by the way.
Dude, you're right. It was Mariano that bashed him as he used the second Black Hole. He canceled TP on his own, and then Mariano bashes him and cancels the second Black Hole. Oh my god, man. The projectile was in the air as he got it off.
We might need another replay here, because we
one
have.
More time for good measure.
Well, no, we have lost Lumiere, is what I mean to say.
Okay.
Actually, he just gets
What
lassoed.
happened?
He just gets lassoed. He died.
Okay.
That's it.
This game.
Yeah, here it
This
is.
game is anyone's game.
I mean,
mate, there's pasta all over the floor, dude. all over this map is just spaghetti and macaroni and ravioli.
It's.
All right, where's the entity line, by the way? Where's the panic? That was the perfect situation for it.
I mean,
Okay,
Sark's dead still for 50 seconds. Roche is up.
The good thing about this is that Frank in 40 seconds gets 2 Black Holes again because he wasted both at the same time. So at least, you know.
Did use both at the same time. And,
yeah, that's a good way to keep track of your cooldowns, right? Waste both ultis simultaneously.
I don't really think Infinity can contest this Roche. It's not very fast, though, off from SG, is it?
They have Desolator. It should be
Good
fast.
Frost Shield. Save the Eidolon.
it's a good Frost
Sorry, familiar, pardon.
Yep.
That's crucial, because Visage doesn't have any
someone
more to
tank this Roche,
resummon.
please. Widge, put yourself in place, dude.
Nah, Widge is carry, dude. He's got Moonshard.
Like, it's bashing Barona. Oh. Okay, they found the Clockwork. Oh, look at him. He actually was flying higher than the Batrider.
Oh, wow, that range on Mars. CLTH BKB is going to unleash now onto Mariano, who is going to be Black Hole. Cancel it this time, says Frank. A full channel Black Hole. That's what we're looking for. Lumiere is here, though. The bash onto Frank, #1. He's going to leap away, though. The pounce. Roche finally goes down. Berna eventually able to claim that Aegis, as Lumiere is now running for his life. He's going to go ahead and leash up Faker, who BKBs does not have, however, a lasso. So Lumiere does not have TP, though. It's not just easy for him to get out of this fight either. Prada holding the entire of SG back at bay as, oh my goodness, Widge. It's turning into a machine gun out here.
I will say, by the way, the Enigma found the S button in that fight, which was really important because he almost, again, black holed the ground. But he did it in time. So Frank is being wary about the movement that Stark has this game. I feel like this is now SG's game to lose. Like, I feel like they have the whole advantage. Not only do they have a better core-to-core matchup, but they have better team fight.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, what? It's a... I mean, wow, this graph is... Does tell a story now, doesn't it? But it's 78% now, according to Dota Plus. A 14k net worth lead. Most importantly, Aegis here for the Monkey King. That was third Roche, wasn't it? So someone should have an Axe Blessing. Was that third Roche?
Right. I don't know, actually.
Well, Monkey King has an Axe upgrade, and I believe he didn't farm that item up, so yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
I'll be honest with you, this
for
game
me.
is just pure chaos. I don't know what's happening.
I'm here for it, though. Oh,
I know,
wow.
you're enjoying it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, please don't die like this, Berna. Please don't die like this, Berna.
Oh, wow.
I think he's gonna die like this. Oh, forced out. Berna, don't go back in.
There he goes. Wait, Frank still has Link BKB Black Hole. Only one, though. Only the one. Tornado.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
But not. You have a BKB, in case you need it, my friend.
No, but he just wanted to lose the Aegis first because he knows the Aegis is a trap. Like he learned this earlier, so.
He's really a fan of the cheese.
We see the Blink BKB from the battery instead. They catch Faker. There's the perfect target. Sorry, PP. Well done, Faker. Killing this fellow mid laner.
Hit. That was just a Lincoln Sphere on cooldown, right? Like they proc that with something, and then they just jump in, or did Batrider do all that?
I think that was Hurricane Pike that procced it from.
Wow. Wow. That is a big kill. But now 26.
Oh.
Yeah, he can get that extra ring, which is going to zone them away. Invoker has buyback, has BKB. Yeah, so he's going to be forced to use it. As Lumiere jumps on in, they catch Frank. They're going to try and nuke up the Cataclysm incoming with the Force Staff. He's going to get him out of harm's way. Black Hole doesn't catch a single hero again. He's going to full channel it and then blink away. Bedna gets off the cheese, the Abyssal Blade, but he's going to die underneath the Tier 4 towers as SG Esports worse for wear after the first Cataclysm of the entire game.
BKB on the Invoker now used as they go for LTH. LTH to dispose, they'll make Enchantress go faster. Hurricane Pike also available on her, so Witch should be fine for now. First hit bash, not gonna hit LTH.
Witch? Careful here, Witch does damage.
Yeah, but not enough. Lumiere takes him down. Oh, but maybe with the help of Faker. Oh no, Dark back.
What? He got the Dark backed off? Are you kidding?
Yeah. Oh, and now they got two actually as a result.
Wow. What a play again by Gannett, just getting in there aggressively there to kick off that entire fight. He finds Frank in the fight. Frank, once again, just immediate into Entity voice line panic mode. Doesn't catch a single hero on Black Hole. The rest of SG, they got to turn tail. I mean, it's looking real bad now for SG Esports.
Yeah, not trying to attack Frank here, but I think he's caught more familiars than heroes in all his Black Holes.
He has, yeah. No, I mean it's a tough Enigma game, right? Like it is a good Enigma game, but those become the scariest to play. Wow.
Right, sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when it's an easy game. That's true, because the pressure mounts up. But I will say that it seems like they're controlling him pretty decently, and he just wants to have some impact in the team fights. Hence, that Black Hole is like, at least I throw it out, which I agree with that mentality. It's just that once you throw it out, there's like an indication for Infinity they can just fight this. I'm really curious to see his player perspective after game. Honestly, I would want to see what happens there.
Wow, Widge is just a monster.
Thank God. We needed a third core.
Yeah, and I mean, now with the impetus damage as well, talent taken, he's really kind of...
Bat isn't a core. Like, he's just a lasso machine, right? So you need... Enigma is definitely the core, obviously, with the Black Hole, and obviously Berna goes without saying, which is the extra bit of damage they needed.
This is something they desperately need. I mean, you're so right, because otherwise they would just lose towers to this really dumb Visage push. And I'm a Visage spammer. I know it's dumb. Especially because he's got this 25 talent, he's got +1 familiar. I mean, he would absolutely tear through these structures. But the Ench is just like this constant uptime DPS machine that even with the Gravekeeper's Cloak, like Visage cannot keep his familiars up on the high ground. It's really good. That saves him probably 2 lanes of barracks. That single buyback alone on the Ench.
Radiant are scanning.
Hurricane Pike now finished up on the Visage. That's going to help him get the bash better against the Enigma. LTH is not even going for the bounty runes. He knows they're a bait. Oh no, LTH! Okay, Lumiere didn't want to pounce on him. Okay, the SG knows that if they just front with literally everything but the Enigma, if the Enigma just gets a black hole, it doesn't even need to catch the Slark. You just catch any of the cores.
Yeah. And now Faker can probably pull people into the black hole even if it misses because he's got Refresher. So he's got now 2
that's the strategy.
lassos.
Yeah, what if he ags, right? Then you black hole in place, who cares? Like when you hit, and then you just pull 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
That's the real strat.
This is the second very long game of this series. First one also went 50 minutes.
Yeah, wait till we get a third game, mate.
We'll see. I mean, it is anyone's game
lasso?
at this stage.
Yeah, Nick. Okay, there's the damage from the Enchanters coming out. Now the
I
strike,
wonder-
Berna still.
Does Clockwork take
What?
more damage? Oh, we're fighting.
Oh, they cut the Slark! They cut the Slark with the lasso! He didn't have time to use the
Wow.
Dog Pact! That black hole's totally worth it just to make sure the Slark dies.
I mean, yeah, you got a Refresher right by it as well. He's got buyback. Clock doesn't. Does Clock take more damage when he's in jetpack mode? If from Impetus, because he's up in the
vertical? Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Fascinating. That
Not
means
too
it's
much,
really
though.
good against the familiars too, then, isn't it?
Yeah. On top of the extra damage because they're creeps, right?
Actually, they're hero creeps. Does that count?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I assume not, actually, because it doesn't deal extra damage to Lone Druid Spare, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Nada?
Okay. Still probably a kill here on a Prada. Yeah, being realistic about it, he is completely mincemeat. I mean, that is not where you want to be standing on a Lich, to be honest.
Slark has buyback. But we do have one more black hole, and this time it's harder to cancel it. Once again, the same play earlier. Frank, maybe just stay really far back.
Yeah, but
he's
there's
far
no
back.
clock. I mean, the only thing they can cancel it with is the Basher on Visage. Throne's exposed.
Drone is exposed. Cataclysm already been committed, but there was no play with that. I think this is SG's game, it seems like. What is Slark doing? He's pushing out the wave. He has to go initiate. I mean, I guess the game might just be over. The black hole caught him! They can't cancel his black hole and Berna. Visage is not close enough, and the throne will fall. They stopped Lumiere. SG will take this 2-0. It was a wild game, but they made it work.
Yeah, I mean, that game was so wild that at the end, Mariano is desperately right-clicking the Enigma, trying to cancel a black hole with the Visage Basher. I mean, just like an unbelievable game, honestly. 50 minutes on the dot, but that is going to be the 2-0 win for SG Esports, who, I mean, honestly, just, I mean, especially in Game 1, Game 2, they do manage to outscale the opponents, quite frankly, is my read on this game, and series overall.
Yeah, I feel like
Just
the drafting was better.
Yeah, like safer
Just-
drafts, right?
I mean, I wouldn't even say safer. I feel like in both drafts they're just a little bit better. Like in last draft, the Pudge is maybe a bit of a question mark because we don't know exactly what. Like I think the Pudge carry is such a novel enough. It'll give him benefit of the doubt that maybe we just didn't see the power of it because it's harder to execute, whatever. But when you consider draft versus execution, and you go, did they execute that draft as you'd expect? I would say no on the first series, right? They played too late. They didn't play as fast as possible. They made a lot of mistakes in an early game draft. And like RDO said, 2 non-scaling heroes past 40 minutes. What are you gonna do? And then in the case of the second draft, I gotta question the Slark, dude. Like, if that was an Ursa, for example, you would have had a much better early game domination. The SG gave a lot of ins in the early game, and Slark couldn't capitalize on them because Slark just sucks, dude. He's just not a good hero.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by like safer drafts, right? Game 1, they go with the Pudge, which is like viable, right? Slark, I don't think Dota's in that state of disrepair where like this hero is like never pickable, right? Certainly, this could have been a game that he was winning. I mean, he was winning this game for a while. He was winning this game, and sure, SG Esports didn't play that well in the early game, right? To really call a bird a bird, right? But still, Infinity, they were winning with the Slark. I think you were right at one stage. This was their game to win, and then it was squarely SG's. And with a safer, more scaling draft, they eventually still do win it.
You got heavy countered by the Enigma pick, honestly. Even if Slark was a good pick, like that Enigma just destroys Slark in general. As it would destroy Ursa, by the way, so that would be in the same kind of wheelhouse. But it was just all Enigma or bust, and that was a solid win condition for Infinity. So I think overall, don't pick Slark. I think that's the thing. Or if you're gonna pick him, I think last pick him, right? I feel like doing it on the 23rd was odd because you can still get counterpicked as we saw here. So that said, SG take the series 2-0. They're pretty happy about this because they actually have a decent score and they're still potential contenders for the major. As Infinity, by losing these series, they lose that. Well, they most likely will lose that slot to the major unless there's a massive tiebreakers. Usually, 3 losses is a threshold between like major and being middle pack. Infinity, though, because of how competitive SA is being this season in Div 1, they're still very much in contention for that relegation slot together with Tempest, together with Infinity, SG, together with Wolf Team as well. So it really could be anyone's game. Every win counts here.
Yeah.
Can't wait to talk to the SG guys, but for that, we need to go to a panel first, and let's see what they have to say about this game. All right, right. You're Frank that game. How many times, like, how much sweat is transpiring through your body as you get the third, fourth missed black hole?
I don't want to be that guy, but I think the game just got delayed that much because Frank was kind of nervous. I think it was everyone see that, but in the end, SG got the victory. But overall, I think Infinity is just trying to get new things going on instead of just going to the classic Dota, you know?
Okay. Did you feel like this was a justified new thing, though? Because Pudge, you talked about it. It was like chaos. It's good. But Slark, don't you feel like there were other heroes that could have done Slark's job?
Yeah, 100%. I think the hero is just trash nowadays. I think the hero has a weak lane phase. And I was discussing with the RDO, and this is one hero that needs to know the lane phase, you know? You need to know the hero that you're facing off, and Enigma just destroys Slark in this game. I don't know how Slark still managed to get some form, but on the game itself, it's super trash. I feel like he had no impact at all.
What about you? What are your thoughts on this game, RDO?
The team that picked a good carry won. I'm not surprised.
Sure, that's fair enough. Do you feel like there was more to it than the carry, or do you really think the Slark just felt lackluster?
The Radiant draft was actually, they also didn't have any initiation. The only initiation they had was the Clockwork, and Clockwork had to save the hookshot for Black Hole theoretically. So there are more problems in the draft, but it was still winnable. You know, they just had to pick a normal carry that can carry Aegis and Siege, because they had everything else. They had the team fight, they had the early game pressure, but instead of that, they just picked the Snowball Swark hero when they didn't have a last pick, and they just got Enigma.
Yeah, and that Enigma was certainly impactful enough there. Is there any performance in SG you'd like to highlight, RDO? Anyone you thought you did a great job?
Which played very well. He got good builds, and he had solid laning phases. It was pretty good. I would give it to LTH, but his first game he got such a bad build I cannot give it to him.
Okay. Well, the reason he actually picked Witch, because RDO is such a great connoisseur of the broadcast, is because we actually have Witch here for an interview, and I'm very excited to ask him some questions here about this game.